Exactly. They're building that wall bigger and bigger between the people and the police and the military, and we're trying to tear that wall down. And they want to label you as a hate monger and me as a hate monger because that's their tool to be able to censor you. If you can have you designated as a hate organization, then they can get the ISP providers to stop access to you. I've even had reports that in some military bases, I haven't confirmed it yet, but in some bases, they're having a hard time getting onto oathkeepers.org. So I'm not sure what's going on.
No, I've seen confirmed reports of that, actually.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been sent screenshots of you not being able to get to the site. And it's one thing to be blocked on bases and colleges. That's bad enough, and them lying about us. But now government's just telling ISPs, period, for their customers. And it's going to grow to everything.
Right. So I mean, to me, this is the fight. We have to fight on First Amendment first. We have to be as adamant and as militant about defending our First Amendment rights as we would the Second Amendment. But we also should prepare for the very worst. I think you should be on ham radio, and we should all be on ham radio.
I'm on 100,000 watt, been on it for 14 years.
Right.
WWCR, we're live right now, 6 hours a day, or actually 8 hours a day now on WWCR. But again, the main fight's on the web.
Oh, sure.
I can post any video on YouTube and get 100,000 views easy. I mean, my films have had more than 150 million views conservatively. That's hurting them, Stewart.
Oh, certainly, but we should prepare for the worst, is all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. In fact, I've already had a secret plan for a year. That's why we have the new office that we're building next door, to go to a file we send people who then print up a local newspaper. We're not going to be stopped.
Right, just in case. Go back to the old handbills on the street corner if you have to.
We're going 1776.
Exactly. That's the answer, right?
Yeah, we already knew this, Stewart. I mean, we already knew this, but do you agree with me that the fact that the UN openly is calling for web censorship, Microsoft, the White House, Google, that they're doing it now is because they're going into a new, more dangerous phase?
Well, sure. The mask is slipping, and they're getting ready. That's why the Cyberterrorism Act talks about a state of emergency. So say you have an economic collapse, where say it's done intentionally. Now you can shut down the internet, shut down all communications, and once again you'll get only what's on. You'll probably have like a America Radio or something, where that's all you're going to hear.
No, actually, the White House said that we may shut down the web to save it, and they said, during the flu we may make all sites direct to the UN. Who? I mean, they're saying it.
Right.
And then Cass Sunstein tells the truth at the White House and says, no, these people are exposing us. We've got to shut them down and arrest them. Did you read those papers he wrote?
No, I did not. No.
I mean, people ought to read it. I mean, these people are out. They're obviously the tyrants.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do? I think we need to organize locally. I think we need to make sure we have strong communities, get to know your neighbors, get to know all your police in your area and all the veterans, and start developing those networks down at the very bottom of our society and get ready for whatever comes.
Clearly, you've been invited to them, but the Tea Parties have been co-opted by the RNC.
Well, there's a struggle inside the Tea Party right now. There's two sides to it. The grassroots Tea Parties, they are still there. Gillespie County Patriots is an example of that. We just had Sheriff Mack and I speak last night. But there is this new entity, what's it called? The Tea Party Nation.
Yeah.
And so that's obviously...
Which is Fox Nation, yeah.
Right. It's an attempt to co-opt the Tea Party movement.
And they're like more wars, police state, Patriot Act, good. Yeah, I mean, you notice Bush and Obama continued the same policies.
Right. And Sarah Palin's speech, I watched it last night, and it was all standard neocon, old GOP insider hack language.
I'm going to be covering it this week. We're in deep trouble.
We are, definitely.
Well, let's talk about the solution. The police and military are not bad people. They're brainwashed, just like the general public. If we can reach out to them through the Oath Keepers and other groups, we can short-circuit this entire behemoth. Stewart-Rhodes is our guest. We'll give you the website, how you get informed, how you read the pledge, the 10 orders they will not follow. There's a lot of troops in Iraq and Afghanistan wearing the patches. It's got the system scared. We'll be right back in Defense of the Republic. Stewart-Rhodes, founder of Oath Keepers, a year ago, exploding all over the country and the world, is our guest. Tell us briefly about Oath Keepers. Go over the 10 orders you will not follow. This will hamstring the Achilles heel of the New World Order. And then let's get into your Home Safe program. Ladies and gentlemen, this is real. Foreign offshore banks have seized the United States. We're being censored. Infowars.com, Prisonplanet.com. They don't want you to see Fall of the Republic, the Obama deception. I mean, I sell the DVDs of my films, but it's free and high quality on YouTube. Take advantage of these $200,000 films. It took me $200,000 to make this. It's free to you. I'm for real. We have a mission of defending the Republic. I want to add, Jason Burmas is coming up for 3 hours after us. Stewart-Rhodes is going to be with him for the whole first hour. So the Infowars.com streams, your local AM and FM, while you can still get it. Stewart, I want to get into Oath Keepers, but people better use the internet while they've got it.
Absolutely. Use it or lose it. That's right.
Use it or lose it. Okay, get into Oath Keepers.
Well, the whole point of Oath Keepers is the founders were smart enough to make the oath to the Constitution, not to any man or office. And so we are reminding all the police and military that they took a constitutionally required oath to support and defend that document against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's a very powerful weapon on our side. So the focus is there. Remind them of the oath and teach them more about the Constitution. They've been intentionally dumbed down and kept ignorant through public schooling and also lack of education on the Constitution in the military. They're not taught about the Bill of Rights in the military. So we're going to make sure they know what they're doing.
The good news is, though, when I say that the military is on fire with Oath Keepers and the 3%ers, they are.
They are, absolutely. They understand that something's wrong. Many of them are very traditional Americans and very sincere patriots. And so we know they have the courage, but courage without knowledge will not be sufficient.
In fact, it'll be used by evil. That's
right. Courage, that's right, it can be twisted into thinking that you're being patriotic by defending the people against these evil extremist haters. And so that's a tactic of our enemies. But our tactic is to remind them of the basic knowledge that we're trying to impart about our Bill of Rights, about the Declaration of Independence, about the core principles of national
Because it's a hedge. When you don't have that, you're just like North Korea or Mexico. Mexico has triple the resources we do. They're in squalor and tyranny because they have a corrupt system.
Well, sure. I mean, the whole point of America is liberty. The Declaration of Independence makes very clear the whole point of the government is to secure your natural rights.
Meanwhile, FEMA's running around demonizing the Founding Fathers. Stuart, go over the 10 orders you will not follow.
Well, the 10 orders are not the oath. A lot of folks are kind of mistaken about that. The oath is to the Constitution that we all swore in our public service. But this declaration, the whole point of this is to get them thinking about the very clear lines in the sand, the most dangerous stuff. It's not everything that will be unconstitutional. I get emails from guys saying, what about posse comitatus? You don't mention that. Well, this is only a start. But these are the most dangerous ones. Number one, we will not obey any order to disarm the American people, because that is what led to fighting in the first American Revolution.
1775.
You betcha. So after all the abuse that they had suffered of all their other natural rights, it was the attempt to disarm them that finally got to the point where they had to fight back. Number two is we will not obey orders to conduct warrantless searches of the American people, their homes, vehicles, papers, or effects, such as warrantless house-to-house searches for weapons or persons. And that happened during Katrina.
The first thing they went for was the guns in the high and dry areas.
That's right. So people say, oh, you're paranoid. This will never happen in America.
They're having knock and talk everywhere. They're shutting down gun shows without laws.
That's here in Austin. That's right.
Yeah.
That was a terrible example of arbitrary, capricious fiat law. No law at all. Just rule by authority saying, I'm going to do this, right? No law passed by Congress. The ATF just came in and said, you cannot have private sales inside of the gun show.
Yep.
So number three is we will not obey any orders to detain American citizens as unlawful enemy combatants or subject them to trial by military tribunal. And this claim power is, to me, the most dangerous, is the claim that the president, as commander-in-chief, can apply the laws of war to you and I, American citizens.
And notice they're now saying, oh, we'll kill U.S. citizens.
Right. They'll target U.S. citizens. And what is the difference between targeting a U.S. citizen in the Sudan and one here? Where is the constitutional separation between those two things? It's not there. If they can do it over there, they'll do it here too. Padilla was arrested in Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Doesn't make a difference where you are.
And we don't give up our Bill of Rights because of some fake boogeyman. It's come out the underwear bomber was protected by the government. That's mainstream news. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the basic point is whether or not an American citizen is actually making war against his own country, the remedy is an article.
They get due process because they throw out the entire due process if we don't.
Absolutely. If you're so afraid of Islamic terrorists that you're willing to tear apart the Bill of Rights and throw it away, you'll wind up in Nazi Germany.
Which we are now doing. Go ahead.
That's exactly right.